Yeah, we are supposed to start at 12.8. Okay. So now we'll see the different types of bhakti. Okay. From the highest stage to the lowest stage of bhakti, we'll see. And before we proceed into the class, let us take the blessings of the beautiful deities of Sri Radha Govinda Ji. Sri Radha Govinda Ji ki jai. Okay. So from Ananya Bhakti, like what is the highest most level of bhakti to the lowest. Okay. How what is the highest bhakti that is practiced, and what is the lowest that can be practiced. Okay. So now first highest bhakti is called Ananya Bhakti. Okay, so 12.8 discusses about Ananya Bhakti. It's like the like Prabhuji, you were asking, right? Ananya Bhakti is like Raganuga Bhakti. It's like the topmost level of Bhakti where the Gopas, the Gopis, everybody love Krishna in a relationship. Okay, they have that relationship. They don't see Krishna as God. They are in a relationship with God as a friend, as a son, as a master. In Shanta Rasa, Dasya Rasa, Sakya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa, Madhurya Rasa. Okay, so they have spontaneous love right from birth. They have spontaneous love for Krishna. Okay, so let's see what is that. मय्येव मन आदत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अतः ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः. Okay, just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always without a doubt. Okay, so what we have to do in Ananya Bhakti? Always fix your mind on me. Your mind should be on me, who? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is Krishna, and engage all your intelligence in me. So, use all your intelligence, talent for what? Doing work for Krishna. Okay, so do devotional service for Krishna. Thus, you will live in me always. So, by doing that, you will always be with me. Okay, without a doubt. Okay, so let's see what it's said here. See, what happens when you perform devotional service by thinking exclusively of Krishna. That is pure devotional service. See, you're only working for Krishna. Like if you see Prabhupada, right? He was purely working for Krishna. He had no other intention when he established ISKCON or by making devotees. He didn't want to make money, or he didn't want name, fame, anything. He just worked to satisfy his Guru Maharaj and satisfy Krishna. That's all. So that is pure devotional service. They have love for Krishna and they want to satisfy Krishna. That is why they work for Krishna. So actually, even after Prabhupada got 2 heart attacks on the Jaladuta, on that cargo ship, people like us would have told Krishna, see Krishna, I tried my level best and I got 2 heart attacks. See, now I can't take more than this. I'm coming back. I don't want to go further. But what Prabhupada did, even after 2 heart attacks, he said, Krishna, see, please make me dance like your puppet in your hands. Okay, I'm nothing but an instrument. Use me as a puppet and make me dance however you want. I can't do anything. Okay, so I'm just a puppet in your hand. Please make me dance however you want to. See, they just want to somehow, even though the pains, like material pains, they ignore. I mean, like they don't, compared to the spiritual tasks that they're going to perform, for them, the material pain is of ignorant. Sorry, is negligible. They don't care about themselves. For them, the main thing is somehow or the other that spiritual vision has to be done. Okay, my Guru Maharaj's mission has to be done. Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said the preaching will be done throughout the world. That has to be done. Okay, somehow, so they want to do it. So that is pure devotional service. Only then they do everything for Krishna. See, the gopis, they want to do everything for the satisfaction of Krishna. The gopas, everything for the satisfaction of Krishna. Yashoda Maya Nanda Baba, also they want to do everything for Krishna, right? And even in Vrindavan, if you see the trees also, trees, the birds, the animals, everybody, they want to satisfy Krishna. Okay, like that. Okay, so they are pure devotees. And the first stage is Ananya Bhakti. That is Ananya Bhakti. They don't expect anything from Krishna. They just want to love Krishna. That's all. And they don't want anything in return back from Krishna also. They don't expect anything. They just want to serve Krishna. They want to please Krishna. That's all. So fix mind upon me. Engage all your intelligence in me. Benefit, what will happen if you do that? You will live in me always without a doubt. Okay, so this is the first stage, Ananya Bhakti. So 12.9. Atachittam samadhatum na shaknosi mai stiram abhyasa yogena tato mam ichchaptum dhananjaya. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulated principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, you will develop a desire to attain me. Okay, now see, first stage of bhakti is Ananya Bhakti, which is very difficult for most of us because we don't have love for Krishna now, right? Okay, it is dormant in our heart, it is still sleeping. So, what we have to do, we have to awaken that. And the second stage is called Sadhana Bhakti. Okay, this if we can't, if we for us that direct process or Anya Bhakti process, we don't have love for Krishna. That is not possible for us. So second stage is Sadhana Bhakti, where we try to awaken the dormant love that we have for Krishna by Sadhana Bhakti. Okay, second stage is called sadhana bhakti. So if you can't do first stage, now you come to second stage. What you have to do in second stage? You have to do sadhana bhakti. What is sadhana bhakti? What we all are sadhana bhaktas, right? What do? We get up in the morning, we chant minimum 16 rounds, and then we attend Mangala Arati, all that, and then we do Tulsi Arati, Narsimha Arati, Guru Puja, and then morning we attend the Bhagavatam class, and then we take our morning prasadam. People who go to school, they go to school, colleges, offices, business. Okay, they get busy, and then in the afternoon, after all the work is done, like housewives and all, they get some time to read books or hear Prabhupada's speeches. You can do that, and then like in the evening when all the children come back or the husbands and everybody come back, wives who work come back, they take a bath nicely and they they do the evening aarti, and then they have evening prasadam, and then they read the Krishna book or whatever. I mean, like they can hear or whatever they want, and they do, and they go back to sleep. So that is sadhana bhakti. It's like on weekends we go to temple to do some seva, like go seva, or we prepare bhoga, do cooking seva, or like abhishek, narsim abhishekam. Okay, like that. All we get involved. This is sadhana bhakti. Okay, so this we can do, right? So if we can't do it, because first stage is not possible because we have no love for Krishna. So somehow we want to awaken that love for Krishna. So what do? We do sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti is like we chant and we do read, hear, seva, all that. So that way, what is Krishna saying? You will develop a desire to attain me. Okay. See, there are two processes of bhakti yoga. The first one is who is attached to Krishna by transcendental love, that is Ananya Bhakti. And the other for one who is not transcendently attached to the Lord, people like us who don't have love for Krishna. So, for us, what we have to do, we have to follow prescribed rules and regulations to be ultimately elevated to the stage of attachment to Krishna. So, Bhakti Yoga is the purification of senses. So why do we do chanting? See, we want to get purified, right? In our heart, we have all these anarthas. Okay, this what mada, matsarya, lobha, anger, kama, krodha, mada, matsarya. We have all these impurities in our heart. So by chanting, all these impurities go away, and slowly that love for Godhead awakens. Okay, so Bhakti Yoga is the purification of the senses. So with the senses, what do? We do seva for the Lord, right? We engage our hands, our eyes, our nose, everything. tongue, everything in the service of the Lord. Okay, so automatically all our senses, mind, body get purified. Okay, senses are always impure, engaged in sense gratification with no love for the Lord. So, what we have been doing all these janmas or years, we've always been trying to enjoy our senses. Okay, and we wanted to, we thought that everything in the world is for us, and I only want to enjoy. I am the master, I am the Purusha. So that's why our senses are impure now. Okay, so much we are Maya that we have no love for the Lord. So we didn't even know who Krishna was. Like before we came to Krishna, practically we came into Krishna consciousness, like we had no idea. I mean, we knew Krishna was God, but this whole history, I mean, so depth we would have never known, right? We know just Krishna as some God, that's all. Like God, like how Shiva and everybody are like God. We didn't know in detail that He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. From Him, everything comes. We are body. I mean, we are not this body, we are soul. It's all sheer mercy of Prabhupada and all our Vaishnavas, senior Vaishnavas who blessed us, and because of which we have come into this path. Okay, so our senses are always impure, engaged in sense gratification with no love for the Lord. So, in the purified state, they come directly in contact with the Supreme Lord. So, obviously, when we become purified, they come in contact with the Supreme Lord. When we become pure devotees, we can see the Lord face to face. That stage of love can be achieved by practice of devotional service. So, we can come to that pure stage by sadhana bhakti. That's what they're saying, by practice of devotional service. So, this love of God is in a dormant state in everyone's heart. Actually, everybody has love for Krishna. Prabhupada says it is not by sadhana you're bringing something new into your this thing, a new bhakti or something. No, no, it's not that. That bhakti, that love for Krishna is already there in you. It's there in your heart, but it's sleeping. You just have to awaken it. The awakening process is chanting. So that's why chanting is very important for us. Okay, so it has to be revived by becoming free from the contamination of material association. So the first thing is like we have to get far away from material association. See, if you are far away from material association, it means you are far from sense gratification. What do your friends and everybody say? Okay, let's go to some party, let's go to a movie, let's go to some restaurant. Like that, they encourage us, right? So we keep on doing things for our sense gratification. But if you are in the association of devotees, they always don't try to please their senses. They try to please the senses of Krishna. Okay, so we should, as far as possible, I mean, it's if you go to work, obviously it is not possible. Okay, but as far as possible, we should try to avoid material association. But in the worst case, if you have to talk to them, you give them their association. You don't take their association. Okay, the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga should be practiced under the guidance of an expert spiritual master. See, in we've seen that in Yoga, they themselves they read the Vedas and by their speculative knowledge only they try to understand, and they think that there is no personal form of the Lord. They all speculate. But here in Bhakti Yoga, what it is said, like we have to practice under the guidance of an expert spiritual master. Okay, so we always have to be under the guidance of a spiritual master who is coming from that disciplic succession. Okay, not by our own, we go to the market, buy books, open and read, oh, I know Bhagavad Gita so well. Not like that. Our understanding is because we have four imperfect senses. Okay, we cannot understand anything. Okay, but once we are under the guidance of an expert spiritual master, by his blessings and by the blessings of Krishna, we automatically understand everything slowly. Okay, so what should we do in sadhana bhakti? One should rise early in the morning, take bath, enter the temple and offer prayers and chant Hare Krishna, then collect flowers to offer to the deity and cook foodstuffs to offer to the deity. Take prasadam, like that we should do in sadhana bhakti. Okay, and one should constantly hear Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees. Isn't it really easy? It's so easy. I mean, like compared to Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyana Yoga or this Jnana Yoga, Bhakti yoga is so easy, right? You engage the sense. You don't have to artificially control your senses, mind, everything, and you don't have to do all these weird exercises that you do in Ashtanga yoga. Okay, and in Gnana yoga, what all you do, you don't have to read all those Vedas, Upanishads. My God, that Sanskrit, and you don't have to go under. I mean, like you have to read all the mantras and understand the philosophy. It's so difficult. But it's so easy to practice bhakti. You just have to engage your senses directly in the devotional service of the Lord. Okay, you can eat tasty prasadam, right? Offer it to the Lord and have it as prasadam. Okay, you can collect flowers and make it garland for the deity. You can chant Hare Krishna. You can listen to senior Vaishnava speeches, and you can read Prabhupada books. Right? It's so easy. Okay. So second stage is what? Sadhana bhakti. First stage is Ananya bhakti, where the pure love already is there. Those devotees have pure love for Krishna. That is already there. But people like us don't have love for Krishna now. So how do we awaken it? Through sadhana bhakti. Okay, that is chanting, reading, hearing, seva, everything like that. Okay. See, follow regulated principles of sadhana bhakti. First is what? If one can, in purple it is written, see, if one cannot perform devotional service, that is, if we don't have love for Krishna, then what? Then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga and you will develop a desire to attain me. So, what if you don't have direct love for Krishna? How do sadhana bhakti? Doing sadhana bhakti, then you will get a desire to love me. Okay, so do sadhana bhakti. So those who have not developed attachment for Krishna, they do sadhana bhakti. See how to achieve that pure stage of love? Practice devotional service with present senses. So with our senses, now what do we do in sadhana bhakti? We engage in our senses in doing devotional service. How to follow regulations of devotional service? Guidance of a spiritual guru. Qualifications to practice? Anybody can practice it. Bhakti can be done by a sadhana bhakti even can be done by a small child also, right from the age of 5. He can also practice chanting everything. So anybody can practice. And what is the guarantee of success? There is surety of love of Godhead. So we can awaken our love for Godhead. The surety is there, guarantee is there. Okay, so next, let's go to the next stage. First stage is Ananya Bhakti. If not that, then Sadhana Bhakti. So next stage, if not that, what is the next one? Nishkama Karma Yoga. Okay, so now let's see 12.10. अभ्यासे अपि असमर्थो असि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थम अपि कर्माणि kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. If you cannot practice the regulations of bhakti yoga, so that is if you can't do sadhana bhakti, then what to do? Just try to work for me, because by working for me you will come to the perfect stage. Okay, so you just work for me. See now, so if you're not even able to do sadhana bhakti, so you're not able to chant, you're not able to read, you're not able to hear, okay, fine, no problem. Not so what you can do, you work for me. Okay, you got it, you work for me. How? So you can see in the picture, right? There you can see a person, a mason who's constructing a temple. He's doing a nice design. So what is he doing? He's working for Krishna. So he is in Krishna consciousness. Though he may not be doing sadhana bhakti, he's not chanting, he's not reading, but he's directly working for Krishna, right? Right? He's working. So what Prabhupada, that will be given here we see. Okay. See, first is like perform devotional service, that is Ananya Bhakti. Then second is Sadhana Bhakti in red. Then in blue, work for Krishna, that is Nishkama Karma Yoga. So how to perform work for Krishna? See, it is being said here. So we can help. How can we help? How can we work for Krishna? See, we can be sympathetic to the propagation of Krishna conscious movement. Actually, Krishna conscious movement needs a lot of help. Okay, there's a lot of work in if you go to any temple, there is lot of seva. See how every endeavor needs land, capital, organization, labor, like in any other business. See, in business, to start a business, we need a place, we need a land, we need some investment, capital we need. So we need an organization, we need labor, people to work, like in any other business. Like that, in Krishna, in Krishna, consciousness also, we need all these. We need a temple, we need many people to serve the Lord. So we need capital, we need money to keep the everything running and going. Okay, the organization to establish everything. So we can help, we can go there. See, like how this this mason, he's helping in construction of a temple. Maybe you can help in building a pandal or something for Janmashtami. Okay, you can order the chairs, you can make garlands for the deity. Somehow or the other, you work for Krishna. You can clean the temple. Okay, you can help in publication. So there's so many Prabhupada books which need publication, and some senior devotees who write books. You can publish the books. You can help in publishing the books. Okay, somehow some people, they take the seva of making dresses for the deities, stitching dresses for the deities, making ornaments for the deities. All that, somehow you work for Krishna. Okay, somehow or the other, you work for Krishna. Do anything. Okay, if all this you are not able to do, at least you can finally what they're saying. If one cannot sacrifice the results of his activities, at least sacrifice some percentage of his results. He can give a portion of his income. If he's not directly able to come and work in the temple, or he's busy or something like that, he can give some part of his income to the for the sake of temple construction or something. If he's not able to work, if he's not able to distribute books, if he's not able to distribute prasadam, he's not able to do any seva in the temple, he's not able to work, at least he can give money, okay, in the construction to help in the propagation of, to make prasadam, he can give money, or for the Goshala to run, he can give money, for temple construction, he can give money, something like that. Somehow he can get involved, okay. So if not Ananya Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti. If not Sadhana Bhakti, then it is Nishkama Karma Yoga. You work for Krishna, okay. So this is saying that, okay, 11 Nishkama Karma Yoga, 11.55. Mat karma krin mat paramo mat bhakta sangha varjita. We saw it last chapter, okay. Nirvairah sarva bhuteshu yasamam eti pandava. My dear Arjuna, one who is engaged in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of previous activities and from mental speculation, and who is friendly to every living entity, certainly comes to me. Okay, so he's here. That is what they're saying. If you just engage, work for me, do pure devotional services, like work for me. Okay, you will be, and you're free from all sinful activities and from mental speculation, and you're friendly to everybody. You will certainly come to me. Okay, so this is the third stage. Now, what is fourth stage? Fourth stage is sakama karma. Okay, let's see what is that. Ataitad api asaktoshi कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness, see, if you're not even able to work for Krishna, then what? Okay, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. Okay, so this is sakama karma. See, you work. Okay, whatever fruit you get, you don't expect it for yourself. You give it for some good, you give that for that result or that fruit for some good purpose. Use that fruit or the result of your work for some good purpose, like for donation to, suppose you make a lot of money, but suppose you, and the result of that, you get a lot of profit, you get even more money. So don't use that profit for yourself. Don't use the fruit for yourself. Use that fruit for some good work. Okay, so be free from the fruit. Just do the work and give the fruit for some particular good cause. Like you can give it for Annadana or orphanages, hospitals, okay, all those things, right? So let's see what Prabhupada says in the purport. If one is unable to directly involve in Krishna karma due to society, see, suppose we are not able to go to the temple and clean the temple or do some deity seva or cooking or all those things. Okay, but because your parents are not allowing, or your husband is not allowing, your wife is not allowing, your parents are not allowing, maybe whatever reason it may be, you have got some other obstruction, you are not able to work for Krishna. Okay, you're not able to come out and do seva directly to Krishna. Then what can you do? Okay, he may has sacrificed that whatever money he has got, the accumulated result of his activities, to some good cause approved by the Vedas. So the Vedas say, right, this is good, this is good. Vedas say, right, in Karma Kanda division, it says this is good, this is good. You can give some donation like this, a charity like this. So for that you do, and then do it for a good cause as approved by the Vedas. So such procedures are described in the Vedic rules. So if one is not interested in Krishna consciousness, so if they don't want to, many people, they don't want to give to Krishna. They think that, see, why do people waste so much money on doing abhisheka, pouring milk on deities? They don't like all this. Instead, they say, why don't you spend all the money on the poor people, Annadana, hospitals? They say. So such people who don't know the reality, we can't force them. So at least if they transfer their money for orphanages, and that is also good. That is what Krishna is saying. At least if they're not giving, if they're not able to be Krishna conscious and do all these, okay, no problem. Still, they can give, or whatever they have earned to Annadana, to at least something good, for a good, use it for a good cause. So what happens if he uses all these for a good cause? Automatically he'll get purified. At least he's not using it for his sense gratification, right? Okay, if he uses it for his sense gratification, he will be attached in this material world. He'll get more contaminated, more attached, and he'll be stuck up in this material world only. He'll be he will be wanting to earn more for himself. He'll become greedy. But if he's at least on the stage where he earns, but he's not enjoying the fruits, but he's giving those fruits to some other person for a good cause, as per the Vedas. Okay, for some social activity or something. Then what happens is, see, if one is not interested in Krishna consciousness, giving up one's hard money as charity to hospitals or social institutions is recommended, as this act of philanthropy too is sure to, why, what will happen when you give it for a good cause? It will purify his mind gradually and enable him to understand Krishna consciousness. See, at least if you do social activities, you're at least not utilizing it for yourself. You're giving it for a good cause per the Vedas. So that will purify your mind, body, senses, everything. And it will give you a chance to understand Krishna consciousness. See, only if you have impurities can't you come to Krishna consciousness. But as you get purified, you can get closer to Krishna consciousness. Okay, once your mind senses get purified, you will understand about Krishna much better. Okay, even social service, community service, national service, sacrifice for one's community, etc. So if you do all this also, someday you will reach the stage of your devotional service of God. Okay, in Bhagavad Gita 18.46, it is said, Yataha pravritti bhutanam yena sarvam idam tatam swakarmanatam abhyacha siddhim vindati manavaha. So if one decides to sacrifice for the supreme cause, even if he does not know the supreme cause is Krishna, he will gradually come to understand that Krishna is the supreme cause by the sacrificial method. Yeah, see, So like that, if he at least does good work, if not Krishna conscious work, at least some good work, if he does social charity or something, then his heart will be purified. So when our heart gets purified, automatically we'll get a chance to know more about Krishna. Okay. So, this is what is said. Okay, 12.11. So they're summarizing. See, first is Ananya Bhakti. Okay, where we don't have transcendental love. So what? If you cannot do that, follow Sadhana Bhakti, red box, right? Sadhana Bhakti. So if you are not able to do second stage also, not able to follow Sadhana Bhakti, that is chanting, reading, seva, everything, hearing, seva in the temple, you're not able to do, okay? So if you're, that is sadhana bhakti. If you're not able to do that also, next stage, nishkama karma yoga, blue box. Okay, work for Krishna. Nishkama karma means just work for Krishna. Okay, you can you can dedicate your life for prasadam distribution or book distribution or what do you say, cleaning the temple or washing the dishes in the temple, washing the clothes of the deities, making garlands, a helpful in the temple construction, publishing books, some work or the other, making pandal during Janmashtami. Okay, somehow making ornaments for Krishna, making dresses, all somehow but work for Krishna. Okay, but Nishkama Karma Yoga, if you can't do that also, then do Sakama Karma. Okay, what is sakama karma? If you don't want to at least give for Krishna, for work for Krishna, because you are, because reasons is here where they are saying in the orange box, unable to sympathize for KC acts. If you can't do anything for Krishna conscious, if you are not able to do anything for any Krishna conscious activity, then what? So then you can get involved in social or familial religious considerations or any other impediments. So you can give Anadana or orphanages, you can do some punya karma, that's all. That what will, see, giving up results of your work. So recommendation is sacrifice the accumulated results to some good cause. Okay, so you work, right? You the results of that work you don't take. So you sacrifice the results of that work. The fruit, you give it to some good cause, like to some Annadana organization or old age home or orphanage, something like that, hospitals, schools, colleges. You can give it to something like that, okay, for a good cause. Okay, how that helps when you do that? One will gradually elevate to the state of knowledge. So you will go to the next stage. So you get purified, right? So you are eligible to take knowledge. Okay, so one may gradually elevate to the stage of knowledge. So next stage is like after sakama karma, you go next stage is gnana. So that will come in the next shloka. So that's what they're saying. See, once you do nishkam sakama karma, what happens? You get purified, right? So once you get purified, what happens next stage? You get that knowledge. Okay, one may gradually elevate to the state of knowledge. So practical examples is like, what is sakama karma? We said that give the fruits to a good cause. What are the examples? Social service, community service, national service, maybe accepted charity to hospitals, social institutions. Such sacrifices of hard-earned results, that is your hard-earned money, right? Some people, they find it so difficult to give their hard-earned money to outside people. So this is also such a wonderful seva when you're giving your hard-earned money to some other people other than yourself. You don't want to enjoy that, right? You want to give it to someone else for a good cause. That is also great, right? So that's what. So your hard-earned results purify the mind, and then because of which in purification you can understand, gradually understand Krishna consciousness. Okay. So we'll go to the next stage. So next stage is like from sakama karma we come to gnana. Okay. Okay, let me ask. Shreyo hi gnanam abhyasaj gnana dhyanam vishishyate dhyanat karma phala tyagas tyagat shantir anantaram. If you cannot take to this practice, see if you can't do sakama karma, then what? Then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge, gnana. Okay, so first, fifth stage is gnana. Okay, so but better than gnana is what? Knowledge is what? Meditation. So fifth, next sixth stage is dhyana. Okay, and better than meditation is renunciation of roots of action. We saw that, right? In fourth stage, what is the renunciation? That is the fourth. So after that is jnana, and after that is dhyana. Because even then better, I mean, like jnana and dhyana, this renunciation is better because we can attain peace of mind. See, when we give charity to some institution or some thing, we find ourselves so peaceful. We find like, oh, I've done such a good act. I feel so nice today. We have that peace of mind. But when you do this, follow this jnana and dhyana, oh my, we discussed right in other chapters how difficult jnana yoga and dhyana yoga is. So dhyana yoga, you know that Ashtasiddhi, how they do all that, right? I mean, what is that? They follow all those eight Ashtanga yoga process, right? So all that yama, niyama, pratyahara, dhyana, all those sadhana, they do all those pranayama, all that they do, right? So it's very difficult. All different kinds of exercises they do, which is very difficult for us to do in practically in Kali Yuga. I mean, like there are people who do both of these, but it's very, I mean, like highly, I mean, impractical. Okay, for everybody to do. And even Gnana also, you know, right? How they renounce all their work, they come to the forest, they read the Vedas and the Upanishads, and they have to understand those Sanskrit, the philosophy they have to understand. Okay, and the what is that? And the philosophy they need to understand, the mantras they have to read. So it's so difficult to do all this. And finally, then these nannies, they meditate on the impersonal. So they're so used to personal, seeing everything by personal, and suddenly they have to meditate on, close their eyes and meditate on something impersonal. It's like they find it so difficult because all this while they were in this material world where everything they could see, they could hear, they could smell, they could taste, they could touch. But now all of a sudden they say you meditate on the in person where you can't see him, you can't hear about him, you can't taste anything, you can't smell anything, you can't touch anything, and they are like clueless. They find it so difficult to meditate on the impersonal Brahman, Brahmajyoti. Okay, so this process is very difficult. So better than the gnana and dhyana is they say renunciation, which gives, I mean, sakama karma, which because when you give something in charity, like you get a peace of mind, you get satisfaction that you are able to help somebody. See, my money which I've earned, I because through this I was able to help somebody. You get that mental peace and satisfaction. So that is why they say compared to gnana and dhyana, this is much better. Okay. So now let's see the chart. Let's see. Okay, this is the whole complete thing. Okay, so cultivation of knowledge, meditation, and renunciation of roots. So, so we should understand. How can I tell you? Okay, so first, in Shloka 8, what we saw first is Ananya Bhakti, then 9 is Sadhana Bhakti. If you can't do Ananya Bhakti, then you come to Sadhana Bhakti. If you can't do Sadhana Bhakti, then you come to Nishkama Karma Yoga, the blue box. Okay, and then if you can't do Nishkama Karma Yoga, what do? You do Sakama Karma. That is, you give up your results. I mean, you work, but the fruit of the work, you give it for a good cause. Okay, so if you are not even able to do that, then what you should do? See, if you cannot engage yourself in working for Krishna, then what do you do? Cultivation of knowledge. Okay, that's what we saw, right? Brahma Gnana. Okay, knowledge of soul. What do these people do? Gnanis, they want to know that they want to study about, like, we are not this body, we are the soul, and what is our final goal? We have to go and merge into the impersonal Brahman, all that. So basically, they read all these Vedas to get that knowledge. Okay, so cultivation of knowledge. And what is the result of that knowledge? One understand his real position. So he comes to know that he is soul. Okay, he understands his real position. So then, with that knowledge, he will try to meditate. He'll come to the next stage, that is Dhyana Yoga. So, what do they do in Dhyana Yoga? It's better than the impersonal Brahman. They come to the next stage where they meditate on the Paramatma inside the heart. Okay. So we see that Ashta Chakra process, right? What is that? Shad Chakra process, Shad Chakra Yoga. Okay, they bring that life air from what do you say? From the I think below the stomach. I think then they bring it to the navel. They bring it to the chest. They bring it to the throat, and then they bring it in between their eyebrows and above their head. And then that life air goes and they meditate on the Paramatma. So like that. Okay, so all these different difficult processes, okay, but they are just telling, if not this, at least see, because all of us can't directly get involved in Krishna consciousness. See, we can't do, I mean, like Ananya Bhakti, we don't have love for God, and we can't. Some people can't do sadhana bhakti also. Okay, they don't have that interest of chanting or reading or hearing. They can't do that. And now third stage is work for Krishna. That is like Nishkama Karma Yoga. See, not all of us like at home are they give permission to do Krishna conscious activities. There are so many people who are against Krishna consciousness, so they don't allow their allow persons who are interested in Krishna consciousness to come to the temple and do seva or all these activities. So that is also sometimes not possible. But what is possible? So you can do renunciation of fruits of your activities. So you can use your money that everybody will allow. No, nobody will stop, because from many years people have been doing that only. For the Vedas, they want to do pious activities and go to heaven, right? So that you can do. At least by doing that, you will get pure. So if you get pure, what happens? You will be able to grasp the knowledge. You'll be able to cultivate knowledge. So you'll come to the Gnana Yoga stage. So finally, what you do in the Gnana Yoga stage, you meditate on the impersonal Brahman, the Brahma Jyoti, right? And on further development, you will start with that knowledge. You will understand. You will develop the knowledge to meditate. See, it is not just Gnana. We'll understand that it is not knowledge. So we have to meditate on the Lord also. We come to that knowledge, just not knowing. We have to do meditation on the Lord. Then we do meditation on the Lord, and then we try to realize the Paramatma, Vishnu in our heart. Okay, so then one can gradually come to understand, to know God. So why it is said that renunciation of fruits is mentioned is better than meditation. We saw, right, how meditation is such a tedious process, right? Hatha yoga, I mean, like Ashtanga yoga is very difficult. Okay, you know, right? And Jnana Yoga, both are very difficult. So that's why this, when you do, you're just giving your money to some institution, social organization or charitable organization, and you get a lot of peace when you do that. Okay, what is that scene? Although Karma Yoga is the lowest on the yoga ladder, Krishna says that it is better than meditation because it is more practical. See, it is more practical, and it does not disturb the mind with harsh and impractical requirements. Okay, if you want to do Gnana Yoga and meditation, yeah, that is very difficult. We have to control our senses. It's very difficult. Control our senses. We have to be compassionate to others. Um, all these, I mean, like the many restrictions. You have to be away from sense gratification. Okay, control our senses artificially, sense, mind, everything. We should live in a secluded place. Okay, so all these complications are there, but this in Karma Yoga, what you have to do, just give your activities, give your money to some institution, by doing which you'll get a lot of peace of mind. Okay. So this is the order. So 12.8 is Ananya Bhakti. Next is follow rules, principles, that is sadhana bhakti. Then you will develop a desire to attain Krishna. So if you can't do sadhana bhakti, then work for Krishna. That is Nishkama Karma Yoga. Then what is the result? You will come to the stage of devotional service. Then what is saying? When you can't work for Krishna, what you can do? You can do renunciation. Renunciation of the fruit. So you can give your money for some good cause. Okay, because of which you get purified, and then you get cultivation of knowledge. Okay, through cultivation of knowledge, you'll understand, okay, just knowledge is not enough. I have to start meditating on God. Okay, so result, see, when you meditate, what happens? You get purification, peace, and gradual elevation. Okay, so when you meditate, you finally, come to the stage of meditating on Paramatma, that is God. Okay, so this is you see the red box, right? They're saying it is the topmost stage and it is the direct stage. Okay, these are the Brajvasis that we see now. See, they are directly in love with Krishna now. If you go to Vrindavan, they are in love with Krishna. They're always, even when they're sweeping or cooking, they're always singing about the glories of Krishna. Okay, and the lowest stage is the last one. Okay, the one in the blue box. Okay, the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be reached through two processes. Okay, so one is the direct process and one is the indirect process. We saw, right? So direct process is what? Devotional service in Krishna consciousness. So what is that? Ananya Bhakti, right? And what is gradually? See, all of us can't be directly in love with God, right? No, all of us can't be, and nobody can. I mean, like, in fact, all of us, except like Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj, they can be in love of God. Okay, that stage. But generally, other than that, everyone, most of us are in this. We come under this indirect process. We are not in that Ananya Bhakti stage. So, what is the gradual development process? Is one is renouncing the fruits of one's activities. Then, like, we donate to some charitable organizations by which we get purified. And then we come to the stage of knowledge, jnana, followed by dhyana, meditation. Then, because of when we come to the stage of knowledge, we come to the stage of um, impersonal Brahman. And then when we come to meditation, we come to the stage of what's in meditating on the Paramatma, right? And then from Paramatma, if by chance, if they are lucky, if they get to associate with the devotee, finally they can come to the stage of realizing Krishna himself. Okay, so that is the process. So any of the process may be taken. So the direct process is what? That love for Godhead. Ananya Bhakti is not possible for everyone. Therefore, the indirect process is also good. Okay, so we generally, like those who can't take the direct process, can take the indirect process. Okay. So, but for Arjuna, already at the stage, he's at the stage of loving devotional service. So he's in Sakya Rasa, right, Arjuna? So he is directly in a relationship, in a friendship. So he is on that Ananya Bhakti stage. So for him, indirect method is not required because he's already directly in love of Krishna through friendship. Okay, so it is for others who are not on that stage. For them, the gradual process of what first? Renunciation, then knowledge, then meditation, then realization of the super soul and Brahman should be followed. So Bhagavad Gita lays emphasis on the direct method that is stressed. So everyone is advised to take to the direct method and surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita is saying you have to do the direct. It is better we do the direct method. If not Ananya Bhakti, at least you should be able to do Sadhana Bhakti, right? Or Nishkama Karma Yoga. So if we practice, that is better. That's what they are saying. Okay, if not that, at least you can come to the last the indirect stage, where that is we renounce all our activities, the fruit of all the activities that we do, and then we come to the stage of jnana, and then to the stage of dhyana, and finally to Krishna consciousness. Okay, but Bhagavad Gita encourages directly doing bhakti is the best process. Okay. So now here, Krishna discusses the qualities of a very of how dear devotee of his is. His some qualities he is explaining here. Okay. See, what are the qualities? One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego. So, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Okay, so these are all the qualities that Krishna is saying. So finally, he's saying such a devotee is very dear to me. So let's see what. See, the Lord is describing the transcendental qualities of a pure devotee. So he is never disturbed in any circumstances. Okay, whatever he, if it is in a difficult situation or any situation, he is like never disturbed. Okay, he's always maintaining his calm and peace. He's never envious of anybody. Okay, anyone. Okay, not like in this material world, we are envious of our next door neighbor if he has something more than us, right? We work so hard to come in equal with him. It's not like that. They're not bothered. Anything on the material platform, they're not at all bothered. Their work is they are always interested. Pure devotee is always interested in pleasing the Lord, not the material people. He doesn't want to please them. So he's never envious of anyone. Okay, so he's always, his mind is always thinking about how can I please Krishna. So that is the only thing that he is interested. He has no enemies, thinks, this is very important. See, he has no enemies. He thinks the enemy has become one due to his own past misdeeds. See, he thinks that I must have done something to him in my past janma. That is why, to give me back that, he has come back again as my enemy. Okay, and what does he do? Prefers suffering to protesting. Instead of going and giving him, because if suppose he, if the enemy comes and does something, what do? We retaliate, right? We protest. But he is saying that I would prefer to suffer, to nullify karma, because I have done the same thing to him in my last janma. So he wants to do the same thing to me now. Okay, so let him do that. That is my karma. I don't want to retaliate. I don't want to protest. Let me suffer the consequences so that it is over with this janma. So what he does say in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Tattenu kampam susamikshmano bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam. So, whenever a devotee is in distress or has fallen into difficulty, he thinks that it is the Lord's mercy upon him. Okay, first thing, whenever a devotee is in distress, so we all have to, it's a very good lesson for all of us. Like, see, we think that when we are in difficult situation, first of all, what we do, we start crying. Oh Krishna, I'm doing so much chanting from so many days. I'm attending Bhagavad Gita classes. I'm learning Bhagavad Gita. I'm doing this. I'm reading Prabhupada books. I'm doing a lot of seva. I'm doing this. Why are you giving me so much difficulties? That is what we say, right? And then there are chances that we may leave Krishna consciousness also and we may go away. In fact, many people say that, oh, before the chanting, I was so happy. I didn't have so many problems. In fact, after I started chanting, I'm getting so many problems. It's better I leave chanting and go away from Krishna consciousness itself. And many people leave Krishna consciousness. So that is wrong actually. So when you practice Krishna consciousness, more problems will come, in fact, because Krishna is testing us. How strong are we in bhakti? Are you going to leave me and go away? If you leave me, even I will leave you. If you stick to me, I will also stick to you, Krishna says. He's testing us whether we leave or not. I mean, whether we'll be still with Krishna or not. See, you and me are very small actually. See, the Pandavas are all the purest devotees and the favorite of Krishna. They underwent so many troubles. Did we undergo troubles like Pandavas? No, right? See, pure devotees, they themselves underwent so many problems. But what did they do? They always took shelter of Krishna. Where are we? Okay, why should we crib and why should we say, Krishna, you are doing something wrong, even though I'm doing so much for you? Okay, so we have no right to say that. Okay, and whatever bhakti we do also, what is that bhakti? Is it bhakti? Truly, the chanting that we do, how much concentration are we doing it with? The reading, are we doing focused reading? Are we doing focused hearing? And our seva, is it focused? And is our devotional service focused on Krishna? When we do devotional service in the temple, are we purely doing it to please Krishna? See, that is the kind of devotional service we are doing, and we expect Krishna to give everything to us. Okay, but what pure devotee things we see here? Okay, when a devotee is in distress or has fallen into difficulty, he thinks that it is the Lord's mercy upon him. See, first thing what he thinks when the distress comes, he thinks it is an opportunity to think about the Lord. See, only when the problem comes, we think about Lord, right? If we get happiness, what we think? Ah, it is because of my effort. I worked so hard. That's why I'm able to make so much profit. That is why I came first in class. That is why I got this promotion. So God never comes into picture that time in happiness. Only in suffering do we think, oh Krishna, why me? I'm doing so much for you. Why me? Why are you not protecting me? Why this problem for me? We say. So he's saying that, oh Krishna, when you give problem, I mean, like he's getting a chance to think about the Lord. Okay, so he thinks that it is the Lord's mercy upon him. First of all, okay, giving the distress, he thinks that it's Lord mercy. And second of all, what? He thinks the suffering he has got is much less than deserved. Okay, what does Krishna do? Because we are in Krishna consciousness, suppose, like for instance, if our whole hand is supposed to be cut, because we are in Krishna consciousness, Krishna, what he does, he just makes a finger cut, just the finger cut. Instead of the whole hand being cut, he reduces the punishment or the thing that has happened. It will reduce. Okay, so what does the devotee think? He thinks the suffering he has got is much less than deserved. Once Prabhupada was doing cutting seva. So his hand gets cut by mistake and it starts bleeding. So the devotees say, oh Prabhupada, you're doing, his disciple says, Prabhupada, you're working for Krishna and Krishna made you do this. I mean, like, made you cut your hand like this. Then what Prabhupada says, see, actually my whole hand is supposed to be cut, but Krishna is so merciful, he just gave me the small cut and he left me because I'm in Krishna consciousness. So Krishna is so merciful. Otherwise, my whole hand should have been cut by now. So devotees, I mean, like, because Krishna reduces our sinful activity. Okay, he reduces it. That itself we are not able to bear. We complain, why me, Krishna? Okay. So first is the devotee thinks it's a chance for him to think about Krishna. Otherwise, also the pure devotee is always thinking about Krishna. But it's just that they think even more about Krishna at that time. Okay, and then second of all is like he thinks that whatever pain he has got, because he's in Krishna consciousness, Krishna reduces it so much. Okay, now let's see what next they are saying. Okay, so thinking so, he's always calm, quiet, and patient, equipoised, even in distress. Okay, so thinking like that, he maintains his calm, even in distress, disturbing situations. Okay, he's patient, he's quite calm, everything like that. So a devotee is always kind to everybody, even to his enemy. And nirmama, this is one more quality. He does not attach much, he does not give much importance to the pains and trouble pertaining to the body. Okay, so he knows that he is above the body, he knows that he is the soul. Okay, so he does not give importance to pains and troubles. Like Prabhupada, we discussed, right? He went on the Jaladuta, he got heart attack, but still he didn't care about his this thing. But still he continued his journey. He went and he preached, and within a span of 10 years, he built 108 temples and he traveled the entire globe 14 times. Okay, and he preached the entire world 14 times. He traveled the globe 14 times, 108 temples in a span of 10 years. Nobody would have built, no, and he wrote so many books, about 70 to 80 books, volumes of books. Imagine a 70-year-old man, 70 to 80 years, that lifespan, and so many speeches he recorded. Okay, so they don't, and Prabhupada hardly slept for 2 hours, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, like that. Prabhupada used to sleep. Hardly. Okay. So they don't give importance. They understand that this body is for the purpose of Krishna. It will definitely give pains for sure because it is material. It is prone to, pains and everything. See, now you see our Guru Maharaj also, Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. He is like the astrologers, they say he should have gone back long back to Goloka Vrindavan. How is he still staying in this material world? So still, he has so many pains in throughout his body. Once Guru Maharaj said that this operation that I was undergoing was so painful that I thought I will ask them to kill me or I will leave my body for sure. It was so painful. But still, he bared that pain because he remembered his Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada's instruction. You do this because I didn't fulfill my Guru Maharaj's instruction. I didn't do. So I decided to stay on. Till now, why Guru Maharaj is still staying on, even though like 80% of his body is not functioning. You can please research about Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj on the internet. You will know like he's my god, he's like so wonderful, so many pains. I don't know, if we get a small fever itself, we look for a chance to escape our chanting or reading or hearing or go to the temple and do seva. In fact, with all these troubles, like he has like all a problem with the liver, a problem in the brain, a problem in the lungs, and he is like paralyzed. He has sugar, so many problems he has. He's just like just like a what do you say, like a dead body. He's just working because he's Krishna's dear devotee, and Krishna is just making him work through him. That it's like the body is just there. That's all. Because Guru Maharaj is stubborn, he wants to fulfill his Guru Maharaj's instruction. He is stubbornly, he's still here to finish. They don't care about the pains of the body, anything, they don't worry. In fact, they do much more preaching than earlier. Guru Maharaj gives so much classes, so many, he travels, in spite of all these difficulties, he travels everywhere. Okay, so we should also be strong in our bhakti like that. Okay, so nirmama means does not attach much importance to the pains and trouble pertaining to the body. And next, quality of a pure devotee is not being body conscious, does not have false ego. So what is the false ego that we all have? We think that we are this body, and we think that all the things connected to this body are mine. My wife, my husband, my children, my home, my property, my wealth. Okay, like that. Okay, so that is the false ego. But what is the true ego? True ego is we are soul. We should understand that we are soul, and our swarupa is to serve the Lord. We are servants of the Lord, and our swarupa is to serve the Lord. That is the true ego. So satisfied with what he is satisfied with whatever comes by the grace of the Supreme Lord. So he does not hanker for more or desire. He says, Krishna, give me that. Krishna, you didn't give me that. No, nothing. Whatever Krishna has given, he's satisfied. In fact, he thinks that, oh, Krishna has given me more than what I want. He thinks like that. Okay. Not endeavoring much to achieve something with great difficulty. He is always joyful. So he does not do ugra karma. So ugra karma is like generally we people work from morning 9 to 5. These people they work from 9 to 9, 10, 11, 12 also they work. More than the capacity, 2, 3 times the capacity they'll work. Ugra karma. Why? To get more money. They will do double shift, triple shift and all. They will work just to give comfort to this body. Okay, actually, the material person, he doesn't know the goal of life is to go back to Godhead. He thinks the goal of his life is to make the body comfortable, to earn more money. He wants to show off to everybody that he's so rich, he is living so comfortably. That is their goal of life. They think money is the goal of life. So they're so much in ignorance that they don't know that our goal is like we've got this human life, we have to do tapasya and we have to go back to Godhead. Okay, but in fact, they will just live like animals, worse than animals. They live and they want to show off that, oh, I want so much money. I work like a donkey. I don't even sleep properly. I don't even eat properly. I don't know why I'm working only. I'll work for my generations, 14 generations I will earn, but I will not eat. I will not sleep. I will not do nothing. I will just work like a donkey. That's all. So that is what these people are up to. Okay, but the devotees, they don't, what Prabhupada says is simple living, high thinking. Okay, don't endeavor, like if, see, if you, some people, they want to have a big, gorgeous house, even though they are Krishna conscious devotees, they want to have a big, nice house, comfortable 3, 4 bedroom house and everything. So, but Prabhupada says, like he says, simple living and just high thinking. Okay, just do a simple job to maintain your soul and body together. Okay, don't go for too luxurious luxury or something like that. Okay, and that because sometimes even like first initially the devotees take a big house thinking that, oh, we'll have a kirtan in our house, we'll have classes in our house, we'll do everything bhakti. But in that name they try to enjoy comforts and luxury, and finally they try to move away from Krishna consciousness like that. Okay, so that's why. A perfect mystic faithfully following the instructions received. So a pure devotee always follows the instructions from received from his spiritual master, and he is determined. Why he is determined? Because his senses are perfectly controlled. He's steady. So that is why he is determined. Okay, his faith, everything is strong. Okay, these rare qualities are developed by following the regulative principles of devotional service. See, all these qualities, they don't earn. If you do devotional service, automatically these rare qualities are developed. It's not like, oh, now today I will have to practice this thing. Then, mama, I have to practice. I am not this body. No, no, nothing like that. For this, I have to struggle. Oh no, from today I will understand. I have to be satisfied with what I am. No, it's not like that. I mean, if you can practice it, is okay. But when you do devotional service, all these qualities automatically come. Slowly, 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 because we get purified, right? So all these qualities come in us when we do devotional service. So his mind and intelligence are fixed um, on the Supreme Lord. Okay, his mind, a pure devotee, his mind is always thinking about the Lord, and his intelligence is also fixed on the Supreme Lord, always. He's always 24 hours thinking about the Lord, even in his sleep also. Okay, such a devotee in complete Krishna consciousness is very dear to the Lord, eligible for liberation. Okay, so these are the qualities. Now again, we'll see here. Okay, so a devotee takes all sufferings as Krishna's kindness to avoid reaction. So first is Adveshta. Okay, so he is not non-envious, kind to everyone, even to his enemy. We saw it even when he the enemy he considers like in his past I must have done something bad to him, so he comes back as an enemy to give the same to him. So I will not retaliate. So he takes the distress as it is. Okay, next Santushta, he is satisfied with whatever the Lord gives. Nirmama, that is no sense of proprietorship. So, and false ego also we saw, right? Because he no longer thinks he is this body. He knows that he is the soul. Okay, so he is free from all the pains and troubles of the body. And Drida Nishchaya. Drida means we saw, right? He is steady because his senses are fixed, are under control. So he is Drida. Okay, he is firm. He has firm faith, Drida Nishtaya. And he is tolerant, never disturbed by any circumstances. Okay, and Yatatma, he is self-controlled. So his senses are fixed on the Lord, right? So all his senses are controlled under the guidance of a spiritual master, Yatatma. Okay, then Maya Arpita Manobuddhir. So all these are the qualities of Krishna is telling, or the qualities of my dear devotee. Okay. So this we discussed, right? Thought process of a devotee in distressful conditions. What is the thought process? He thinks that it is the Lord's mercy upon him. And then he thinks, thanks to my past misdeeds, I should have suffered far, far greater than I am suffering now. By Lord's mercy, I'm not getting all the punishment I'm due, just getting a little. See, if I was supposed to get 100% pain, I'm just getting 10% pain. So he thinks like that. He thinks this person is acting as my enemy due to my past misdeeds. So it is better to suffer than to protest. So we saw, right, how even though an enemy comes, generally what we do, we protest. He doesn't protest because he knows that my past birth I have made him suffer. So that's why he's come to make me suffer now. Okay, so he doesn't retaliate. Okay, he doesn't protest. So what is the result of thinking this way? What will happen? Okay, he's always calm, quiet, and patient despite many distressful conditions. See, whatever that is why he is never disturbed by anything. He maintains his calm, whatever be the situation, be it in distress or everything, he knows it is the Lord's plan. And partly it is his karma. Because he had done something bad, it is coming back to me. Okay, and at the same time, he thinks it is a good way to remember the Lord in distress. Okay, so that's that way. He remains calm in all these distressful conditions. Nor is he envious of anyone or disturbed by their behavior. Okay, why? See, he's not. We discussed, right. He is not envious like a material person. Like we try to compete with our, like in a job. It's like if your next your friend, he's getting a more what bonus. You try to compete with him. Why is he getting more bonus? We get envious of him. Why am I not getting? We get envious. Oh, she has a gold necklace. I don't have. We get envious. It's not like that. Devotees are not envious of anyone or anything. So, and they're not disturbed by their behavior also. They're least bothered about material things at all. Okay, they always, their mind is on how to satisfy the Lord. Okay, such person, he becomes eligible for liberation. Then now let's see 12.15. Yasman no dvijate loko, lokan no dvijate chaya, harsham, harsham, harshamarsh bhayodveger, mukto yah sacha me priyaha. So, he for whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anxiety, who is steady in happiness and distress, is very dear to me. So, the dualities See, in the material world, we've already many times discussed, right? This material world is full of dualities. Okay, where there's light, there is darkness. Where there is sadness, there is happiness. So all these dualities are there. Where there's heat, there is cold, like that. Okay, and where there's honor, there is dishonor. Where there's respect, there is insult, like that. Okay, but a devotee, pure devotee, is not at all bothered with all these material designations. Okay, he is not disturbed by anything. He's like steady in all the situations. He's like steady. Okay, see, not get affected by others, because devotee is always engrossed in Krishna consciousness. So material circumstances cannot move him, not disturbed by anyone. Okay, such a state is obtained by the Lord's grace and does not affect others. So no one is put into anxiety, difficulty, fearfulness, or dissatisfaction by such a devotee, because he is very kind to everybody. Okay, so the devotee is like, you can see, for example, Prahlad Maharaj, right? He was put into so much distress. But did we ever see Prahlad Maharaj getting worried or tension? You see in the picture, he's always calm and he's just chanting the names of the Lord. He never spoke harsh words to his father. You're my father and you're doing this to me. I'm just a 5-year-old kid. How can you do all this? He never even blinked his sins. He was so peaceful because he had confidence that the Lord would protect him. So he was always calm. He used to tell Hiranyakashipu, see, you are not the person who's going to kill. It is Krishna. If Krishna gives you the permission to kill, then you can kill. If Krishna wants me to die, then I will die. If Krishna wants me to live, then nobody can kill me. So he, with that confidence, he was chanting the mantra. He had full faith. We have no faith, but still we do. Okay, let's do for the worst or best. Okay, let's just do. We do it not with, we may have faith, but we don't have full faith, like Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, so it will take time for us. That's why it is said, like, that's why we do sadhana bhakti. We don't have that instant love for God. Okay, like Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, so such devotees, for them nothing, like even if they're put in the greatest of difficulty also, it does not matter, like how Prahlad Maharaj, even though, see, now in the picture he was put in fire, even there he's just very peaceful. So because of such people, I mean, no one is put into difficulty. Because of devotees, nobody is put into anxiety, difficulty, fearfulness. They're never satisfied by devotees. In fact, they're already happy seeing a devotee. Okay, because a devotee is kind to everyone. You see, a materialistic person is envious, sorrowful, and dejected when others possess something, sense gratifying that he does not have. Okay, so that is the natural material tendency of a material person. If the next door person has something more than us, we start envying him. But a devotee is always transcendental to all these disturbances. He's not bothered. Okay, so that such kind of person is very dear to Krishna. Okay, next 12.16. Anapekshah shuchir daksha udasino gatavyatah sarvarambha parityagi yo mad bhaktah same priyaham. A devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and who does not strive for some result, is very dear to me. Okay, let's see what the purport Prabhupada says. A devotee receives the money that he gets through the Lord's grace without hesitation, but he does not over endeavor for it. Okay, so whatever amount of money he decides, I mean, like he does not, like, say for instance, he works for a certain time, and if he's not getting the expected money, he leaves it to the Lord. He thinks, okay, Krishna doesn't want me to make more than this. Okay, so let me just be satisfied with this. Let me adjust my life with this. So he receives whatever money that the Lord, by the Lord's grace, he gets, he maintains, he takes it without hesitation. Then he, but does not over endeavor for it. So he does not work more because he knows that his goal is Krishna consciousness. Okay, he works only that much, 9 to 5. How much he works? That much money. With that money, he is satisfied, and he adjusts his everything, household things or chores and everything per that. Whatever he has to buy, everything, the food items, everything per that he adjusts, and he does Krishna consciousness. But he does not do Ugra karma and work like a donkey and get to get more money and leaving spirituality and then doing so much work, night and day, every day working and leaving Krishna consciousness. He does not do that. How much ever is needed to maintain the body and soul, that much he will do, and remaining time he will give it for Krishna consciousness. And then what he does, bathes twice a day, rises early in the morning for devotional service, hence he is clean from inside and outside. So rises and he does takes his bath, so outside he is clean, and he does chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, so inside also is clean. So a devotee is an expert in all activities and has full faith in all authoritative scriptures. A devotee is unbiased above all pains and designations. Okay, because he knows that as body is also designation, he is he's free of bodily pains and sufferings. So Guru Maharaj also, he always says that, oh, maybe I'm still, because I'm in this material world, and maybe I'm suffering, but beyond that, I'm very spiritually happy. He says that. So in front of that spiritual happiness, these pains, I don't feel any pain. Guru Maharaj says. Okay, so they are just transcendental to this body. Okay, so this they understand that they're the soul and not the body, and they don't give importance. Even if there is pain, they ignore, because they the spiritual activities that they do in front of that, these bodily pains they forget. Okay, so never endeavor. They never endeavor for anything against the principles of devotional services. See, actually, in devotional service, we have some do's and don'ts, right? So, what should not be done, they don't do. They never endeavor for anything against the principles of devotional service. Okay, they will not venture into any activity that does not see, which hinders which stops the devotional service. They don't do. So only which helps them progress in Krishna consciousness or devotional service. Those kind of activities they do, which hinder, which block their devotional service. That such kind of activities they don't do. So he will make all effort to build a temple for the Lord, but he will not construct a big house for his personal relations. See, for himself, though he has the money, what he will do, he with that money he will build a big, nice temple for the Lord. But he will not think that I will build a nice big house for myself with that money. He will not think like that. So a pure devotee, he somehow sees that with whatever money he has, he will try to build the temple or something connected to spirituality, not for his own thing. Like now, if you see, Ford is there, right? I mean, in Mayapur, he's building the TOVP. He is, my God, I don't even know how much money. The whole TOVP, most of it, he actually wanted to do everything. But since all remaining people should also be given a chance to donate, right? So that's the reason he didn't donate everything. Otherwise, he spends so much on the TOV, so many crores. I don't know how much. I can't even pronounce how much. So he's given all his money that he has earned through Ford, almost everything. I think now Prabhuji is like he's not feeling well. I think he's in the hospital. He's being hospitalized. Okay. So he's such a wonderful Prabhuji. Like his initiated name is Ambarish Prabhuji. Okay, he is called Ambarish Prabhuji. So the devotees, whatever they get from their material, this thing, he was initiated by Prabhupada, Ambarish Maharaj. Okay, he's a devotee, he's a disciple of Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so 12.17 we'll see. Yona Rishyati Rishyati na dveshti, na shochati, na kamshati, shubha shubha parityagi, bhaktiman, yah sa me priyaha. Okay. One who neither grasps pleasure or grief, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, is very dear to me. Okay. So, what are they saying? One who is unaffected by material emotions. What emotions? He neither rejoices nor grieves. Okay, he's not. When something good happens, he's not like he's jumping in the air. When something sad happens, he's like, "Oh no, why did this happen to me?" He'll start crying like that. No, okay. He neither like for him both is equal. Something good happens, something bad happens in this material world. It is he takes it as normal. Even if he's doing some business, even if he gets a loss, I think he thinks he doesn't worry about that whether there's a loss or a gain, because he knows that ultimate is like he's doing it for Krishna. So if so Krishna willing gives him profit, then he he uses that profit also for Krishna. So if it is a loss also, he's not worried. Okay, no problem. This is what is written in me. Okay, like that. He is not worried because he knows in this material world, obviously there are dualities, right? There's loss, there's profit. If not profit, there is loss, right? So he understands that. So he never laments for that. So neither laments nor desires. Okay, laments in the sense, oh, I didn't get this, I didn't get, or I have lost I've lost my cell phone, something like that. He'll be crying. And desires, he wants something. Oh, I didn't get that. I want that. I want that. So he has no such thing. He never laments or desires, and he's not anxious to get a son or a disciple. He not laments by not getting them. So he doesn't cry for all these. I didn't get this or I want that. He has no desires. Okay, transcendental in face of all kinds. See, is like always happy in all kinds of auspicious, whether it is auspicious, inauspicious, sinful acts, anything. He's always transcendental. Okay, he's always same thing. He remains like blissful because he's always thinking about Krishna. He's in Krishna consciousness, immaterial of all these material designations and everything. Okay, he is prepared to accept all kinds of risks. Why? For the satisfaction of Krishna. Nothing is an impediment in the discharge of devotional service. So he does not think that, oh, now it's raining, how will I go to the temple? No, he does not think like that. Somehow other he will go, oh my God, it's so cold. I have to take cold water bath now. It's so cold in Kartik Mass. How can I take cold bath? No, he won't say that. He does it. So nothing is an impediment. If required, he takes cold water bath and then he goes to the temple in the morning at 3:30. Okay, so nothing is an impediment, nothing stops him. Somehow I have to go and do my service in the temple. Okay, he is Bhaktiman. He is a devotee, Krishna is saying. So the most essential quality from which all other qualities appear. Okay, so Bhaktiman means he is what? Yeah, 1 second. Okay, so he is Bhaktiman. So devotee, the most essential quality from which all other qualities appear. So from here only, so if you do a practice devotional service, then all these qualities that we have seen, right, automatically they come, they manifest. I mean, like they can be seen outward. This Bhaktiman means what? Inner, the bhakti that we have, the devotional service that we have in our heart, the sincerity with which we ourselves know, right, the inner bhakti that we have, that love for God, how much ever we have, so that reflects in the form of these qualities in a pure devotee. Okay, he is Bhaktiman. Hopefully I'm able to express. See, when you automatically do devotional service purely, that is intrinsic, right? These are all the qualities that we see outward are extrinsic, outward, externally. So when we do devotional service, automatically all these qualities are seen outwardly in a devotee. Okay. So one who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contamination, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and engaged in devotional service is very dear to me. Okay, a devotee is always free from bad association. So he doesn't want to associate with the material people. Okay, for sure he avoids transcendental to artificial fame and infamy, distress or happiness. So he's obviously above the material plane. So dualities don't affect him. Speaks of nothing but Krishna. He speaks nothing but Krishna. So this is also called a type of silence. Silence, see, silent does not necessarily mean not speaking. It also means not speaking nonsense and speaking something of relevance. What Prabhupada says, what do you mean by mauna? Mauna means Prabhupada says not just keeping your mouth silent like this and then taking a slate and write everything and communicate through, right? Taking a piece of paper and a pen and writing, or like take a chalk and write on slate and tell them no. It is like, why do you do mauna? Because you are so much, you talk so much nonsense materially. So at least by doing mauna, these material people, they follow mauna. That is the way. That is why they do mauna. At least one day, if they do mauna, that nonsense they will not talk, material nonsense. But for Krishna conscious people, what is mauna? Mauna is like we don't speak anything material. Mauna means, maintaining mauna means we speak only of Krishna, not any junk or material things. The Krishna conscious devotee only speaks of about Krishna. That is mauna. For mauna means not speaking anything material, only about Krishna we speak. That is being silent for us. Okay. A devotee is happy in all conditions with regard to food, residence. He's ever satisfied. So he's satisfied with whatever God gives him. Even he is happy under a tree or a palatial building. So if he's asked to stay under a tree also, he will stay. If he's given a big palace to stay also, he doesn't mind. He will stay anywhere. Okay, he's not, because basically he knows he's not the soul. He's the soul. He's not this body. Okay, so he's ready to stay anywhere, because for him, as long as his mind is on Krishna, anything, both are equal to him. He doesn't look at the palace as something comfortable and being under a tree as, oh, so disturbing. Nothing like that. Okay. He is fixed in his determination and knowledge. Okay. Because his senses are steady, he's always determined. I mean, like, okay, I have to do. I mean, like, I have to do this seva. And his knowledge is also fixed. So because of which nobody can push him down from Krishna consciousness. So if somebody says anything against Krishna consciousness, he will counteract and he will say, okay, this like this, like this. So his faith is so fixed, his and knowledge, everything is so fixed. A devotee does not extraneously endeavor to acquire these qualifications. See, he does not physically work hard to get all these qualities. But how does he get all these? Engagement in Krishna consciousness and devotional service automatically help him develop them. See, Krishna consciousness is such a wonderful process. See, just by doing devotional service, chanting, hearing, reading, automatically all these qualities that Krishna described, right, will automatically come in us. Because by doing devotional service of chanting, reading, hearing, our heart gets purified. All our anarthas go away. So all the bad goes and all the good qualities start coming in automatically. Okay. So this is the same thing. Okay. Samasastraucha Samashatraucha Mitrecha is equal to friends and enemies. He is like, I'm not able to read properly. Equipoised in dualities, always free from contaminating association. Okay. Aniketaha does not care for any residence. So under a tree or in a palace he can stay. Mauni, he only speaks about Krishna. He does not speak about material things. Santushta yena kenachit. He is always santushta, satisfied with what he has. Sthiramatir. So he is fixed in determination and knowledge. Okay, Bhaktiman. So he always engages in devotional service. Okay, so this is what we have to understand. Okay, so actually qualities that endears one to Krishna. So actually the main thing is Swarupa Lakshanam. So that is Bhaktiman. What did we say? Swarupa Lakshanam means that is required. Swarupa Lakshanam means when we do devotional service, that is Bhaktiman. A devotee, when he does devotional service, automatically, that is what Swarupa. The main thing is Swarupa Lakshanam, Bhaktiman. What do you do over there? You do devotional service, chanting, hearing, reading, seva. Then what happens? Tatashta Lakshanam. That is ancillary. Additionally, what we get? All these qualities below it that we discussed, right? Okay, all these we have discussed the qualities. Krishna said all these qualities are directly manifest. So this is Swarupa Lakshanam, that Bhaktiman, that is internal. So all when he does bhakti internally, that is what he does, chanting, reading, hearing. Then externally, all these qualities we can see in the devotee. Okay, that is the Lakshanam. Okay. ये तु धर्मामृतम् इदम् यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धदाना मत्परमा भक्तास्ते अतीव मे प्रियाः. So finally, Krishna, to the question, who is better? One engaged in the path of impersonal Brahman or one who is engaged in the personal service of the Lord replied to Arjuna so explicitly that there is no doubt that devotional service is not only better but perfect in process of spiritual realization. So finally, Krishna says that Bhakti Yoga, okay, not Jnana Yoga. Devotional service is not only better but perfect, okay. And through good association, one develops attachment to for pure devotional service and thereby accepts a bona fide spiritual master and from him begins to hear and chant and observe the regulatory principles of devotional service with faith, attachment, and devotion, and thus becomes engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord. Okay, so then how the first step is like once we have the faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, next is like association. So when you come into association, automatically next is Bhajana Kriya. Then you start doing devotional service, okay, by accepting a bona fide spiritual master. You hear from him and you chant and you start observing the regulative principles of devoting service with faith, attachment, and then you become engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord. Okay. The impersonal conception of the supreme absolute truth is recommended only up to the point one surrenders himself for self-realization. So they are saying this impersonal Brahman, that concept is only favorable because they are gnani, right? They want to understand the knowledge. Till the time they understand that they are not this body and not the soul, they are fine. Okay, see, as long as one does not have the chance to associate with the pure devotee, the impersonal conception may be beneficial. But this impersonal concept, as soon as they come in contact with the devotee, they understand that, oh, God is a person. But until the time they don't come in association with the devotee, it is okay. They are just under the impression that this knowledge is everything. So they come to the understanding that okay, now I'm the soul, I'm not this body. Okay, till that time it is okay. But when they till they don't come in touch with the devotee. But as soon as by mercy of the Lord they come in touch with the devotee, then they come to understand that God is a person, and then they start practicing devotional service. Okay. 12 or 20. He who follows this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engages himself with faith Making me the supreme goal is very, very dear to me. Okay, so what is dearest of all? Krishna is saying, one who makes Krishna as the goal of his life. They follow this imperishable path of devotional service, make Krishna as the supreme goal of their life, and completely engage themselves with faith. So we should have that faith. That is important, very important. Okay, so that's it. We are done for today.